As a way of introduction, Matt, it's very hard to introduce somebody like yourself with an amazing background because you've completed, from what I understand, 4 consecutive Paralympic games. You've won like 2 gold, 1 silver, and 4 bronze. You've also joined 5 world championships and whole series of other international medals. And to top it off, what a privilege that you've also been awarded the Order of Australia medal. And a huge congratulations as well for getting into the Tokyo Olympics. I think it was last week or the week before. It's amazing to have somebody like you on our project, and thank you for taking the time, and welcome to this little chat.
Happy to be here. It's good to chat.
So tell us a little bit about your background and why you do what you do right now.
Yeah, so I've just been selected for my 5th Paralympic Games in Tokyo. I've been swimming for the elite level for the past 21 or so years. I guess I kind of do what I do because I have a passion for the sport, and I guess a passion for continual improvement in myself mainly. And I guess I kind of do it because I really enjoy it, and I like to see improvement in me every day. And once prior to COVID, I liked the travel aspect of it, but I just enjoy the camaraderie and enjoy the feeling of challenging yourself in different ways.
Thank you, Matt. And tell us a bit about what was the selection process like, and getting onto the Tokyo Olympics, and I guess the next steps as well. What's going to happen next.
Yeah, so selection process was, I guess, a 5-year process. Usually it's a 4-year process to make the team. You post times during the 4-year cycle. I guess keep improving towards the games after the last one had finished. And for everyone, I guess, that made the team, you had to hit a certain time. So I guess you had to keep continually improving year on year. We had to hit the qualifying time that Australia Select had posted for us in our events. Post that, I guess they kind of go through a process of working out who's qualified, what people can swim multiple events, who can swim relays, because we don't get a limited number of spots. Just because you qualify doesn't mean you're going to go. We actually had 22 guys that qualified, did the qualifying time, but we only had spots for 17. So they had to work out who was valuable for relays, who could swim multiple events and be potential medalist in those. So there's a bit of a process from the management perspective to try and kind of work out that juggling act. And it's very stressful, not knowing if you're going to be on or not on until like the last 20 minutes before the team's announced is pretty nerve-wracking. But it's certainly an honour to be going to my 5th Paralympic Games. Only one other person in Australia in swimming have done that before, which is pretty cool. But from here, I'm training at the moment at AS in Canberra. We go to Queensland for a little bit of a training camp for in 3 weeks' time, and we base ourselves in Queensland.
But, as I said, congratulations. It's great to that, you've got the chance to join the team and represent Australia as well, and wish you all the very best for the training period, then obviously, for the games itself as well. So that's fantastic news as well. Okay, so before we get into the next part of it, I ask a few people, both in the Run for Life project and kind of a few others, that I have this chance to talk to you, what questions do they have, right? So I've got a couple of questions, people have sent me. And then, a couple of simple rapid fire questions as well. Hopefully you're up for it, right? So the first one, early bird or night owl?
Definitely early bird.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Reading or writing?
Well, I've got a book out as of November, so I'm guessing writing.
And your favorite movie?
Happy Gilmore.
Favorite book?
My book, I guess. Keeping Your Head Above Water.
Awesome. No, thank you. Love it. And, the other thing that has come through in the questions, Matt, is whether it's running or swimming, there's a lot of endurance work you have to do as well, right? And how do you keep head above water, I guess, as well? And how do you continue to keep the focus for the longer term when you have kind of both ups and downs? What keeps you going?
I guess for me, it's just about focusing on the process and remembering that, yeah, I got a big goal at the end of the tunnel, but I guess you don't get to that end goal and you don't continue to improve if you don't continue to improve every day. And I think for me, I guess to stay focused and to stay, I guess, on task, I always kind of gone about things in a methodical and a process-driven way. And it's really about, I guess, focusing on one, what I can control, and two, focusing on, I guess, improving every day and improving, I guess, every session to kind of be the best version of myself I can be, because we verse a lot of, I guess, different people, different elements, COVID, whatever you want to call it. We verse a lot of different things as an athlete, but at the end of the day, we can control what we do and how we kind of do things. And I think the people that continue to control what they do to the best of their ability are the ones, I guess, that succeed. And for me, I guess that's kind of how I've stayed focused all these years, just trying to control what I can control and really kind of understand that you can't control what your competitors do, you can't control what the person next to you does, but you can control, I guess, what you do. And I guess that's kind of how I've tried to stay focused throughout my career.
And with that theme, Matt, right now, obviously, the world's going through a pretty challenging time with all the lockdowns, etc. Mental resilience, is a topic that comes up in every conversation, whether it's, sports or in the current lockdown, right? Are there any tips that you can share from swimming that might actually be helpful for people going through the current challenge? I mean, you mentioned part of it, like, there are certain things you can control, certain things you can't control. But are there things that you can suggest, from your swimming career and training that might be useful as tips for, everyday person right now to deal with what's going through?
Yeah, I think it's really about, I guess, staying in my swimming career or sporting career. It's been about staying calm and really kind of remembering why you're doing it and what you're doing in that moment. And I think it's the same in lockdown. I guess you can't control it's happening. You can't control what it's going to be about, but you can control, I guess, what you do. And I remember during the lockdown we had in Sydney last year, it was really about, I guess, trying to learn new skills, trying to kind of understand how I can kind of improve as an athlete. I couldn't swim at that time. All the pools were closed, and all that kind of thing. And it's really about, I guess, making the most of the opportunity that you have. I guess I haven't had much of an opportunity to rest, and that was a big rest. It was around 2.5 months. So I guess the opportunity that I had was to look at things differently and kind of try and improve in other ways. And that was, for me, it's more improve from a mental perspective and really kind of understand how I can kind of improve my mind to be better.
Tell us a little bit about the book, the Keeping Head Above Water.
Yeah, so it's, I guess, the book's around, I guess, the key concepts that I kind of live by. I kind of originally started the book to, I guess, increase my speaking career, but then I guess towards the end of the book, it was more about just getting my message out there and kind of getting people to understand what I've gone through, and also, I guess, what I kind of live by from a success framework perspective, because I guess we all kind of go through life in different ways, but I guess if I can kind of impart some knowledge of what I've learned in my sporting career and in life, I guess I've done some good in this world. And I think the book really kind of talks to
what does the day in the life of Matt actually looks like. You mentioned you do get to bed before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so typical days, get up around 6, train from around 6:30 to 9. Then I start a work day from around 9, go through to around 4-ish, and then head to training post 4 o'clock for another session in the pool or the gym, and then in between I might do a physio session because I'm on site at AIS in Canberra, so it's pretty easy to get to places. But
Yep. And how did you actually get into swimming, Matt?
Yeah, so I as therapy for my disabilities. I have cerebral palsy and am vision impaired. So to help, I guess, those health issues, I started to get into swimming, and that's, I guess, where it started. And I guess it kind of grew from there.
Wow. And what age was that, Matt, when you got started?
I'd say it would have been about 10, 11 years of age. I started to learn to swim prior to that, probably 5 or 6. But from when I kind of started to really get into swimming and actually know how to do strokes and stuff, would have been about 10, 11 years of age.
And at that time, did you have a vision of actually becoming an Olympic champion, or how did that come about?
Yeah, so that probably came about in 2000 when I was watching the Paralympic Games. I was 13, I guess, years of age in 2000, and that's, I guess, kind of when I kind of started to have the burning desire to compete more than just swimming up and down, and compete from a competitive sense. And it just kind of grew from there, and made my first team in 2003, and my first games in 2004, and then made the teams ever since. But that's where it started in 2000. I guess watching people that had far worse disabilities than myself, and then it kind of started the burning desire to want to join those type of people. It's been a long journey so far.
Wow, that's fantastic. And Matt, people who are watching this later, we know that sometimes, each one of us have these voices that basically says, you can't do something, or you're not capable of doing, etc. What advice do you have for somebody who might be kind of second guessing their abilities and their capabilities?
Yeah, I guess for me, I always second guess myself, and it's really about understanding that we're better than we think we are. And many times, I guess, I stand on the blocks representing my country. I'm nervous, I'm apprehensive, I second guess what I'm doing. But I think it's, at the end of the day, it's really about trusting what you've done and trusting the process that you've had in place, and that all the work you've done prior to that to really kind of help you get through, I guess, that moment. I think it's really about trusting in yourself and believing in you, because I think everyone around you believes in you, and it's just really about us believing in ourselves. And I struggle as an athlete daily to continually to remember to do that. It's the same in life. We all struggle, I guess, with belief and understanding that we can do the activity that we're doing. But it's really about, I guess, having a clear mind and having a understanding that with faith and with belief, you can do anything.
That's fantastic. That's great advice, Matt. Thank you. And also, Matt, thank you for also joining as an ambassador for the Run for Life project as well. And just to understand, what made you decide to actually join that project to support us as well, which has been fantastic having you on board.
Yeah, it's been a great project. I guess for me, it was really about, you guys were doing such a great thing for a great cause, and I guess that kind of piqued my interest. And I always like to, I guess, support people that are doing great things. And you guys from the very beginning have done really great awareness for the cause, and also helping in making people healthier as well with being active and that kind of stuff. So both of those kind of things that are really close to my heart. And it's definitely been a team effort, and it's been really great to be a part of it.
Well, wish you all the very best with the book, but then also with the Olympics and the training leading up to that as well. Thanks again for taking the time to join for this call, Matt.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a privilege, and it's been great to be a part of the Run for Life. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future.